between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Portland Pilots. Start to talk through our starting lineups for tonight for Portland. First things first, 12-4-4 on the season. Once again, Bree Norris will be in goal. And then Haley, after that, what can you tell us about some of the starters and what kind of shape we may see from Portland throughout tonight?
Yeah, so Portland has been sort of shifting formations, and they're a young team. They're a high-energy team. When talking with Coach French, she wasn't quite sure what we would see because they've never seen a team like Alabama. I'm going to think they're going to play a flat back four, maybe a diamond shape in the middle, and have those two strikers up top.
Then for the Alabama Crimson Tide, McKinley Crone in goal once again, and then some of the usual suspects for this group that has led Alabama to its first SEC championship, #1 ranking. That's why Wes Hart has been all smiles really since this season started. Now this match has started from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Crimson Tide and the Portland Pilots meeting for the first time ever. Matthew Thompson is our referee this evening. Portland, of course, in the road purple kits, Alabama in the all white. Crimson Tide set for a throw-in, trying to establish some early possession. A 9-0 victory last time out against Jackson State in the first round of the tournament. Now taking on Portland out of the West Coast Conference. Key takeaway for the Pilots.
Yeah, you know, the Pilots aren't going to, sit back and just let Alabama come to them.
Skorka with a key takeaway for the Crimson Tide. Alabama with some options. Sarepka lost it for a moment. Regained control by Macy Clem. Now Riley Tanner fighting on that left side. Nifty moves to the corner of the box. Played back to Tanner from Knox and deflected away by Portland.
So Portland, a young team, so a definite contrast to Alabama's squad, but they've got a winner's mentality. They're showing up in the big games when it matters. They've been able to ride that high, a 3-0 win against Arizona State. So, pressure's off this team. Coach French wants them to enjoy the ride, to play some really good soccer, to enjoy themselves tonight under the lights.
Yackel trying to keep possession alive for Portland through a lot of Crimson Tide jerseys. Let's go all the way to the back where Sasha Pickard, of course, controls the center for Alabama.
Yeah, that back line for Alabama has just been so consistent, so strong, almost impenetrable all season long. And Sasha Pickard is at the heart and soul of that back line.
Tanner trying to connect with Sarepka, and she will. Back to Tanner. Played out in front for Sarepka. Another good deflection for this Portland back line.
Yeah, I wanted to see this ball wide to Jessica Skorka. She's been making runs all season long. She's a great outlet pass. And that switch is going to be on all night long.
Portland trying to get moving with Sawan. Plays it back to Lucena. Back out in front to Sawan left side and offside.
Yeah, just a couple of steps. That was some great movement there by the Pilots, able to play inside and then out, trying to catch Sawan on the outside. Number 7, Lucena, beautiful ball. Switching the point of the attack, just unlucky there with the offside call.
Slide tackle and a foul on Macy Clem.
Yeah, Macy Clem, very important to Alabama, sort of sits back, a holding center midfield. Big strong tackle there.
Attacking third, Portland. Pickard and Tanner trying to move it the other way.
Looks like Portland is playing in a formation where defensively, at least, they're trying to fall behind the ball in numbers, stay defensively organized, leaving that one striker, Sawon, up top as the outlet pass, but really wanting to get numbers behind the ball.
And the Pilots trying to build from behind the back, but this is where Alabama hunts the ball. Out in front, hoping for Sarepka. Off the line, the stop made by Norris.
Yeah, Norris coming out and making the play on the ball. Almost looked like her defender, her defender was waiting for her. Thought maybe she was a bit slow off the line. Sarepka was right there, though. They had to be careful.
Sawon facing tight defense the entire way, trying to keep this alive for Portland. She will. Lucena plays it out wide. Kalgiai tried to keep it in play, close to a corner.
And I think she is going to get awarded the corner kick there. Looks like it went off the feet of Jessica Skorka. Good tight defense. Seemed like Togia took a little bit of a slip, but was able to make something out of nothing. And her team's got a set piece coming from the corner.
Kayleen Togiai. Now a service being set up by Sophia Matthijs. Matthijs swings it in with the left foot. Headed first by Wilson out to the right, redirected. Crone with a stop and a lot of contact in the box and a foul.
Yeah, Portland Pilots just knocking at the door there, trying to put some pressure on McKinley Crone. McKinley Crone hasn't seen a ton of shots, but she did well there to defend.
Portland led by Michelle French, now in her 5th year at her alma mater, was a great player for the Pilots, and she joined Portland after 12 years in the U.S. soccer system, was an assistant coach for the senior U.S. women's national team, so a wealth of experience, and that's why her teams are so fundamentally sound.
Absolutely, and you know, starting the season, it's really strong start, a little bit rocky in the middle, but percentage and wins-wise, one of the most successful they've had since 2013, in the top 25, and certainly a credit to Coach French. She's ready to see her team start a new generation, sort of a new chapter in the Portland Pilot really prestigious history.
One of just 5 programs to win multiple national championships, bringing home the trophy in 2002 and 2005. Overall, 8 College Cup appearances, being one of the last 4 teams standings.
You know, so far, the Pilots are really sort of holding their own. You know, they're not afraid to hold on to the ball, to keep the ball. They're looking to connect, crash in the net.
So Giai rolls it out to Sawon. Offside again.
Offside again. You know, Alabama's back line is so comfortable. They're so good and cohesive as moving as a collective group. They're quite good at catching players offside there, and you can see Brooke Steer was raising her hand. Sawon was trying to get in behind. Great movement off the ball, but a couple steps past that last defender.
Riley Parker. Jessica Skorkel will get ready for a throw-in for the Crimson Tide. Coach Harnes described her as such an engine for this team, probably one of the unsung heroes for Alabama this year. Randa Reyes sliding it over to Tanner. Reyes able to keep possession on that left side, along with Tanner. Corner kick.
Corner kick for the Tide, and Alabama has been really lethal on many of their set pieces. Felicia Knox's service has been absolutely unreal. And the way that they're able to crash the ball and get on the end of it has been truly remarkable.
Felicia Knox with 19 assists, most in the nation. No one with more than 15 individually. School record for Alabama this year. Felicia Knox. Low line drive met immediately by Togiai. Pickard near midfield. Sarepka chasing after it. Goal kick, though, for Bree Norris.
Sorepka is such an important piece to this Alabama puzzle. Comes as a transfer from Virginia and just made such a huge impact. And now this year, she is showing up in all the right places at all the right time. Great leadership up front, really strong player. Going to leave it all out on the pitch for her team.
Doing so again. Wanted a foul called, but plays continued as Portland tries to move to the attacking third. Foul called in Alabama.
Yeah, Suwan able to draw that foul there. She's got good physical side, good presence on the ball. She's going to be a handful for Alabama's back line.
Tice setting up this kick for the Pilots. So through 10 minutes of play, haven't seen a shot for Alabama, haven't seen a shot for Portland. Free kick. Long service. Portland trying to keep it alive and then contact in the box. Play continues. Collier had a great opportunity before the pressure.
Yeah, you can hear the stands just screaming, but I think if we get a replay on that one, we'll see that it was a good, hard tackle. Both players going in for it.
Tanner trying to center it. And a foul in Alabama. A moment ago, some chaos in the box.
Chaos in the box, indeed. Great free kick, put it right at the top of that 6. We saw Brooke Steer meeting that ball first. And then number 15 going into the box, Macy Clem getting stuck in just outside the top of the 18. The referee, though, he was there. He had eyes on it. Did not see an infraction happening.
Skorka got tangled up with Togiai, but play continues. 3 fouls on the Crimson Tide, 1 against the Pilots so far. Felicia Knox getting Alabama moving. Nifty pass to Riley Mattingly Parker, then she lost control. Crimson Tide finding it harder to connect passes than in a lot of matches we've seen for the SEC champion this year.
Well, we know this team is going to be well coached. The Pilots have an excellent coach, and you know, she said that against the Arizona State team that they played and won 3-0 against, that they executed the game plan extremely well. And so this is a team that can understand what the coach is asking them to do and actually do it.
Tanner tripped up and a foul called.
And I think he's going to call that one just outside of the 18, so a foul was initiated outside of the box. It's okay if you fall into the box, so it's where is the foul initiated, and you can see the official pointing outside that 18-yard box. Tanner, though, just a pro, an absolute pro at being able to cut inside, make that penetrating run, cut across the player's body, force them to make a play on her. And it looks like our official is going to go to the replay to really determine whether that was in or outside of the 18-yard box.
Part of the reviewable plays for the postseason. Trying to get it right with so much on the line. And in this matchup, trip to the 3rd round to take on UC Irvine on Sunday afternoon at 2 Eastern, 1 Central in Tuscaloosa. So again, the officials will be taking a look in just a moment. Logan Reeves is at the monitor. Matthew Thompson is our lead referee for today, and a chance for these teams to talk things over in what's been a quick start to this match, even though we haven't seen much offense in terms of shots.
Yeah, so it looks from here, I guess it depends on which foul you're going to call. It looks like there was body contact initiated with the upper portion of the body just outside the 18. It's really difficult to tell if it's the clip on the heel that is the foul that she's getting rewarded for, or was it the contact made with the upper body as she started going towards the 18. So here you can see there's the push that makes her unstable outside the 18. And then just past that, it almost looked like there was another clip on the heel that looked like it was in the 18. Now, is that one fluid foul?
Katana Norman right up against Riley Tanner of Alabama.
I think the referee will keep it with the original call, foul outside of the 18-yard box, based on what we're seeing with our replay.
Because even there, not technically in the box.
No, foul was initiated outside.
And Tanner's starting to fall even before she reaches the 18-yard box. From behind the Crimson Tide goal.
Yeah, now here you can get the view from the referee, seeing it sort of from the same angle, and there you can see pretty clearly that that was initiated outside of the 18-yard box.
So the decision is in, and it looks like it will be outside.
Yep, so it looks like he's going to keep with his original call outside the box. You know, in a game this big, Roger, you want to get the call right, so really nice that the officials have the chance to review.
Felicia Knox, nation's leader in assists, will get ready with the service. 19 on the year from just outside the box. Some good options for Felicia. Rolls it in, first off Sarepka. And out of play off Sarepka.
Yeah, it's going to be off Alabama.
Crimson Tide led by head coach Wes Hart, the SEC Coach of the Year. In his 8th season in Tuscaloosa, he has been building for a year like this. No means is Alabama an overnight success. This has been a long time coming for a group last year that had the best finish in school history, winning a first-round NCAA tournament game for the first time ever against Clemson.
They've certainly made a lot of history, and, you know, the group that...
Rogers with a chance. Portland trying to clear it away.
Yeah, Portland does really well. That was a dangerous opportunity, but I was just going to say the group that is competing here tonight, majority of them were brought in by Wes Hart, and they've been here through all of the struggles and the growing pains, and it's been a fruitful season, but it certainly has not been something that's happened overnight.
Jessica Skorka, a big part of that, the junior from Plano, Texas. He's had 2 goals on the year. Does such a nice job on that right side with energy for the Crimson Tide, because you basically know on the left side where Riley Tanner is going to give you each possession, but it's a nice balance with Skorka on the right side. This will go to Portland. So GI playing well.
Yeah, so we'll get another look at it here. And it might actually have caught off the shin, you know, I think of Jessica Skorka there. Again, we have the benefit of seeing it in replays and with that real time. Yeah, slow-mo and everything like that. But real time, it's difficult, but they make the right call.
Quickly, Alabama regained possession, though. Rogers trying to cross back to the center. And it'll be Bree Norris with 2 hands getting the stop. All West Coast Conference second team selection. 85% save percentage on the year. Only has allowed 14 goals. Excellent national rank, 7th in the country with 11 shutouts. Once again, Portland, a similar team to what we saw earlier in UC Irvine. The record maybe not as impressive due to all the draws that the Pilots played this year, 4 without going to overtime. And now starting to build an attack with Lucina. Macy Clem with the takeaway. Selma Lucina was working well for the Pilots for a moment. Now a whistle.
Yeah, I think that was a whistle from, I think the referee, the official, allowed Alabama to play with the advantage, but calling the ball back there. You know, it almost looks like Portland is really trying to switch between having a nice zonal defense, but then really high pressuring Alabama, sort of giving them a taste of their own medicine, because you can see them trying to close down space extremely quickly, trying to apply pressure high up the pitch, force them to make that turnover.
McKinley Crone will have a chance to organize the Crimson Tide from the back, along with center back Sasha Pickard. Parker takes over.
Yeah, that was read really well by Parker. Great anticipation.
Now wide to Tanner and Reyes. Alabama connecting passes again. Raina Reyes fighting her way to the attacking third. Back to Portland.
Yeah, Portland's doing a good job of defending well, being patient, keeping Alabama to the outside. Alabama is going to have to continue to move the ball quickly. They've got to make sure they don't get too spread out through the middle, but also be able to shift and give that outlet and switch of attack.
Back to the Crimson Tide and a throw in as Alabama will go to its bench for the first time today. Gianna Paul takes over for Kat Rogers. Gianna Paul, the SEC Freshman of the Year, 7 goals, 19 points in her debut season in Tuscaloosa.
You know, when Gianna Paul comes in, this is a completely different look for Alabama's offense. You might say, how? Well, she's got the speed, the pace. She can really stretch defenders, try to create some open space in behind. She wants to stay high. She's a great target. And I think Coach Hart is just hoping to open up a little bit more of those seams out in front of the 18-yard box.
Tanner, still Alabama possession. Going right up against Yackel of Portland. Pressure on Paul. Tanner with some power. Out of play. So for the Portland Pilots, 12-4-4. They went 5-4 in West Coast Conference play, but had that strong RPI. Faced a lot of talented teams throughout the year.
Absolutely, and then, you know, playing at home, they had a nearly perfect record. And so, yeah, they had a really strong start, had a little bit of some bumps in the middle, but were able to really bounce back from 2 losses at the end of the season with the at-large bid and then the excellent game against Arizona State.
Really had no wiggle room entering the tournament, lost the final 2 matches before Selection Monday. Heard their name called, heard that as well they got to play at home and played brilliantly 3-0 against Arizona State to advance here to the second round. So the team with that, playing loose, playing free, already kind of the worst had happened for Portland.
Yeah.
Thinking maybe there would not be NCAA tournament soccer for the Pilots this year, but now they're in. They've already made some noise by knocking off Arizona State and playing Alabama really tough so far, limiting the Crimson Tide to only 1 shot through the first 20 minutes of the match.
And that's pretty significant when you think about the offense that Alabama has and how many tools they have in their tool belt, so to speak. I mean, just powerful, physical, skilled, technical, smothering. I mean, you name it in Alabama, that adjective probably will fit them. So, yeah, I'm impressed so far with the Pilots. They're executing that game plan really well.
Knocks to Parker just shy of the 18-yard box. And here comes Portland. Lucina. So GI, left side, back to the center. Crone punches it away. Alabama's McKinley Crone. Parker out to Felicia Knox, redirected by Portland, and this will go to the young lady that just had a brilliant save a moment ago, McKinley Crone.
I mean, we talk about McKinley Crone not having to do a whole lot of work sometimes in the game because she's got a great four back in front of her, and her team is handling business at the other end. But when they need her, she always comes through, and that was a fantastic save.
Riley Tanner making an interesting left side. Solid defense by Portland at first. For Alabama, it's always about the second or the third chances after plays like that. Macy Clem kept it on the ground to Sarepka, back to Clem. Jonna Paul to the right, Skorka battling there for Alabama. Against Collier. Watch out for Parker in front of goal. Alabama tried to go to her, but Norris gets the stop.
And Norris came up with big hands there. She definitely knew Parker was coming for that front post. Parker is so dangerous with her head in and around that 6-yard box.
Riley Parker, Sarepka back to Parker. Parker with space, side tackle, but here's Felicia Knox. Header, Sarepka. Still some solid touches by Portland, clearing it away from that scoring opportunity for Alabama.
Yeah, Portland does well to weather that storm. It's a guess at how long they can weather it, though. That was, excellent by Alabama, recycling their runs, being patient, putting some quality looks on net.
Skorka in the center. Clem bends it back to Sarepka. Ashland deep service. Felicia Knox right there, but the stop made by Norris.
And I think Yakel was also tracking that ball. Incredible one-on-one defense there to not lose Felicia Knox in the box. Perfect ball in from Sarepka, finds Knox in the 6-yard box, and Yakel doing the work, grinding it out, tracking her man.
Paul trying to stand her ground against Wilson.
You've seen a bit of shift in the energy that Alabama has and the mounting attacks since Jonna Paul's come in. I think she just really creates a lot of chaos up there.
Attacking third chance again for Alabama. Tanner tripped up right at the same spot as before.
And Tanner will go to work there, play in and play out. I don't know if there's someone better that can draw that foul time after time after time. She's not afraid to take that run. She loves the 1v1. She wants you to tangle her up.
Keely Doctor and Yakel right there. You've said before how just Tanner, if you're playing against her, can be the most frustrating player on the pitch.
I would never want to play against her. It would be so incredibly frustrating, and she'll come at you time after time.
Another set piece from a similar spot as what we saw about 10 minutes ago. This is Felicia Knox. Bending it into the stop of Bree Norris.
Big hands from the sophomore. I mean, she just commands that 6-yard box. Huge play in traffic, surrounded by white jerseys. And here we see it again, the ball in from Felicia Knox, so good. Could have easily found a white jersey But Bree Norris is watching it, tracking it, anticipating it so well.
Pilots trying to build an attack. Pickard the side tackle, but still Portland possession. Trying to involve the back. Alabama was quick to meet it. Knocked in front for Paul. Smothered by Portland.
I think it was Keely Doctor, number 20, putting out the fire that might be Gianna Paul. You can see that quick release coming to Gianna Paul. She just gives Alabama so much width and sort of length on the field. Great outlet pass, but well defended by Portland.
Ruby Settle in for the first time today, the freshman out of Seattle, Washington, with 2 goals on the year, including in the last match against Arizona State. Placing Matthijs. Doctor. Pickard takes control for Alabama. Gets it to Brooke Steer, who has come back from an injury a season ago and really thrown into the center back role right before the season and has played remarkably well, according to Wes Hart.
And I think according to most people that watch, too, I mean, she just hasn't skipped a beat. It looks like she's played there her entire life. The transition has really been seamless, and she has made some huge plays for Alabama. Certainly part of this winning recipe that they have together.
Tanner with some nice touches, getting it back to the other side for Alabama. This will be, let's see.
I think it's gonna still be the
Yes.
Portland ball, but I think you might want to walk back just a little bit. Unfortunate little bounce it took there off of Tanner, but you know, good defense by Portland, really putting Alabama under pressure.
Kayla Adams, who has 5 goals in the year, started to get moving for Portland, but a lot of times against this Alabama defense, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, you're facing Sasha Pickard, Reina Reyes. They're not going to give you much room to move and to operate.
13 points on the year for Adams. She also, like Brooke Steer, missed all of last season with injury. Steer only got to play in 3 games before she was lost for the year. Now the Crimson Tide, nifty touch by Sarepka to Paul. Guess who? Riley Mattingly Parker getting moving. She'll have options as well. Rolls it back Tanner. Tanner with the left foot. Just past Paul and Sarepka. Clem with Reyes. Tanner again, this time with the right foot, and rolled to Norris. Header after header, now a chance for Portland. Sawan. Again, Steer into the box. Sawan tries to clear it back. And a corner.
Yeah, Alabama gets a touch on it there. Swan able to draw 2 defenders over. You know, she's crafty. She's got great size, good pace. She likes to run at defenders, so you've got to shut her down, even if you're going to give up a corner kick. She's too dangerous to let her walk into the box.
Second corner kick for the Pilots tonight. Lucina setting up the service. Corner kick number 2. High to the right, deflected back. Still a chance for Portland. Long range, and this is high. A long strike from Colby Wilson.
Yeah, why not Colby Wilson? That was a well-hit ball. You could hear Alabama's back line yelling, move up, push up. And so she took a look and saw an opening, and that was not off by much.
Wilson with 2 goals on the season, 5 points. She knows what it's like to score against an elite team. Also scored earlier this season against BYU.
That's not an easy thing to do.
Aislinn Streisig is in for Riley Tanner for Alabama. "14 minutes to go in this first half. Not only scoreless, but low shooting numbers, 3-2 Alabama out shooting Portland, but we've seen plenty of fouls. 6 called against the Pilots, 5 against the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, strong physical matchup. Both teams are not going to shy away from that. Like we talked about earlier with our matches, you know, both teams want to dictate the tempo. They want to set the tone for the game.
Time call just to, looks like, tie up a shoe for Portland. And Ruby Settle came into the match just a few minutes ago. So the clock stops at 13:30 left to go in the first half.
At this point, too, your fingers probably are numb, freezing. You know, hard to get those things tied up in.
Well, the low tonight in Tuscaloosa is going to be 25 degrees. Currently, it is 45 degrees. You see the student section, everybody bundled up. Even the Paul Bryant hat is a good one tonight. Let's try and stay warm. Clem lost her footing. And a foul on Reyna Reyes of Alabama. And a yellow card against Reyna Reyes.
I think that's a little bit much. I think a talking to would have been fine for the first one there. You know, Reyna was a little bit late on the ball there. Macy Clem loses her footing. Reyna Reyes, I don't think it was anything malicious, but she does not get the ball at all. She just gets the foot of Togiai.
First yellow card of the match. SEC Defender of the Year, Reyna Reyes, who had been a midfielder, moves back to a defending role for Alabama. Even in that, she's created a lot of offense this year, along with her stifling defense. So can Portland take advantage of this free kick after the yellow card on Reyna Reyes? Long service to the box, headed first by Pickard. Skorka with a touch, out of the box. Portland trying to turn it around with Sawan, but Alabama right there.
Yeah, and that's Riley Parker doing the work front to back.
Rolled all the way to Norris, redirects back to the circle. Clem doing anything she can to get a foot on it.
You know, she got the first one, then was blocked, so yeah, absolutely. She knows how dangerous this Portland offense can be if they get past.
Riley Parker to Sarepka. Norris will put an end to it.
Yeah, Norris needed to come out and greet that ball. She's going to see a lot of Alabama jerseys crashing that net, those long balls in over the top, just to test the defense, just to test her. Does well to anticipate that.
Sarepka had some space, now feeling the pressure from Adams. Also right there was Emily Collier. All the way to McKinley Crone.
Yeah, Alabama breathed a little bit of sigh of relief there. You know, Brooke Steer uncharacteristically gave up that ball, and it could have been a really dangerous counterattack, but And Portland didn't take it with pace.
Foul against Sarepka. Right up against Lucina.
Yeah, Sarepka not happy with that one. You know, I think it was the grab over the shoulder. And everybody does it. It's just a matter of if the referee sees you or not. So, you know, those hard-fought battles, if you can gain an inch by pulling a jersey, tugging a shoulder, you're going to do it.
Long service met by the Tide back line. Sheena trying to grab control. Able to at least connect one more pass, trying to get the back line involved. Tide takeaway with Pickard. Ten minutes to go in this first half of play. Second round of the NCAA tournament. Winner gets UC Irvine on Sunday afternoon in Tuscaloosa. Felicia Knox to Paul, then to Parker. Riley Parker works it outside to Reyes. Raina Reyes to the center, off the left foot of Paul. And that'll go away. A near goal for Alabama's Gianna Paul.
And you saw Raina Reyes just take that ball so convincingly, play a driven ball across the face of goal, able to pop that up. And Gianna Paul narrowly misses the net. Great save by Bree Norris. Difficult ball, spinning and curving. Just able to get a hand on it. Would have tucked under that crossbar.
Corner kick, Alabama. Crimson Tide corner kick. First contact, Portland. Skorka just outside the box will grab control. Knox along with Sarepka. To the center, Felicia Knox. Felt the pressure, here's Parker heading it, but Norris with the stop. Bree Norris of Portland challenged once again, makes the play once again for the Pilots.
And I mean, she robbed Macy Clem at that near post. Bree Norris coming up so huge. This is where Alabama is so dangerous. When they can recycle that ball, they are not afraid to put that little touch on in the 6-yard box. Macy Clem was screaming for it. They finally get it to her and just unable to put it past Bree Norris. Huge save for the goalkeeper.
A near miss for Macy Clem, who has 4 goals on the year. Another corner kick for Alabama. Felicia Knox. Headed just back. And Portland with clearance. Parker trying to turn this around. And it goes wide to the right. Riley Parker had an opportunity for Alabama.
And this is where Alabama is just going to stay, and they're going to press, and they're going to push, and you almost just feel like it's got to be coming. It's got to be coming. You know, Portland's doing a good job of weathering that storm, trying to be patient, trying not to get caught out of play, making it predictable for their keeper. Oh, and just a game of inches.
16 goals on the season for Riley Parker. SEC leader, she has had a tremendous season. Alabama record in points with 39 goals with 16, 7 game winners as well. For Riley Parker, 6th in the nation in goals coming into tonight. Final 7 minutes of a really hard-fought first half. Adams. Some connections for Portland, but offside.
Yeah, good connections for Portland. Yeah, just sneaking offside, just a step. And again, we talk about this tight defense for Alabama. They are just so cohesive. They move so well.
Portland will let that roll out of play, set up Norris. Very active match for Wilson so far.
Absolutely. It's been a fairly even battle so far, I would say. You know, Portland's defense has had to do a lot of work early in this match, but they certainly have had their chances on offense and at least have been able to break through that middle part and get into the attacking third. But can they hold off? Can they hold Alabama off until halftime is the real question.
Alabama throw in, attacking third, right to Knox. Parker. Out in front to Felicia Knox. Feeling the pressure from the defense again. How about Portland's defense so far?
I mean, they are executing the game plan incredibly well. They're showing great patience. Very brave. You can see here just the anticipation of their defense. They're winning the ball, they're anticipating the ball, they're making it easy for each other to figure out where that ball's gonna go next.
Stryzik trying to keep it in play, Wilder Reyes. Stryzik had some space, but it goes away quickly.
Yeah, Portland is, whenever Alabama has the ball, they are trying to close that space really quickly, especially when it's deep in their defensive third, and they're being successful at that. They're not giving Alabama much room or much space to work that ball around or to hold on to it.
Past Alabama's back line, Pickard will get McKinley Crone involved.
Yeah, and Crone is so comfortable with her feet. You know, I think we used the line last game, last line of defense, first line of offense, and that's incredibly true for McKinley Crone. She likes to play with her feet. She likes to be involved.
Camille Ash, active defensively. Gianna Paul tried for a long strike, but it was deflected. Stryzik now on the right side for the Crimson Tide. Get it back to Macy Clem in the middle. Went just past Knox, but Skorka right there, but Portland once again with a key takeaway. Lucina was the first one that got the Pilots moving. Here comes Portland. Deflection, and then Crimson Tide right there for a moment. Adams, what can she do? Dancing into the box, left side, kicked away by Skorka.
It's going to be looks like a goal kick for Alabama. Great play by Jessica Skorka. Yeah, absolutely. You know, Reina Reyes had a great play on the other side. The ball switched. Portland's able to keep it penetrating inside the box. This angle shows us off of Portland. Great play by Jessica Skorka.
Brooke Miller coming in for the final minute of play for Portland. Crimson Tide out shooting the Pilots 7-2, but the scoreboard still empty. That was the case in the first match earlier today when UC Irvine scored on a long run that started with defense, and Portland was trying to replicate that for just a moment before Crimson Tide quickly met the attack. Skorka with Paul. Paul is so fast. A few solid connections. Now Clem in the middle. Taken away by Lucena. 10 seconds to work with. Reyna Reyes, long range, off the bar. Paul, too high. 2 scoring chances in the final 10 seconds for Alabama, but this first half is complete. It is scoreless in Tuscaloosa.
I mean, that was not the first half I thought that we were going to see tonight. That was excellent, so evenly matched. Alabama having a couple more dangerous opportunities, 2 that we just saw there. I mean, does it get any closer? But if you're Portland, you've got to be pleased with your performance. They executed the game plan really well, and they're 0-0 on the board.
Joined on the field by Alabama head coach Wes. Portland Pilots, so much NCAA tournament glory in its history, winning national championships in the year 2002 and even in 2005. Megan Rapinoe was part of that Pilot club. Certainly a proud soccer tradition for Alabama, a soccer tradition that is building. A win tonight would make this the longest and best run in the NCAA tournament in school history after last year claiming the school's first ever NCAA tournament win against Clemson in the first round. Before bowing out to BYU in the second round, of course, the Cougars made it to the national championship game before falling to Florida State. Underway, teams have switched sides on this very cold night. Temperatures now in the upper 30s in Tuscaloosa. Pickard trying to grab control against Sawan, and Steer rolls it back to McKinley Crone. Crone with just 1 save so far. Again, only 2 shots by the Pilots in this match, just 1 on frame.
1 on frame, but it was a good one, and McKinley Crone had to make a pretty magnificent save just to keep Alabama in the game there. But you know, all of her experience and her abilities between the posts, she kind of made it look easy, but it was a challenging save she had to make early on.
Maybe didn't see too many shots in the first half. Did see a lot of fouls. 6 for Portland, 6 for Alabama.
You know, there's a lot at stake with this game. There's a lot on the line, and so these players are just working as hard as they can. They're going to leave nothing on the field. High emotions, strong physical play. They didn't get to round 2, you know, without it. So I expect we'll see more of that in the second half.
Teams trying to figure out who can possess early in this second half. Reyna Reyes with a long throw in, met immediately by Portland. Kat Rogers trying to grab control, and this will go to the Crimson Tide. Nope, Portland.
I think took an unlucky little bounce there off Kat Rogers' foot, but battling there. Seems like the ball sort of stuck on this flank in really tight spaces. Let's see who can get that ball released and switch the point of attack. You hear the crowds erupting there for hands on the back of Riley Parker, and I think I also agree. And I don't agree with that one really either, but.
Foul on Gianna Paul.
Good physical play. You can see both hands outstretched. There's absolutely no play on the ball. And the fans erupted for that one, and then we had another foul deep in the defensive third.
So GI getting the Pilots moving. Kat Rogers right there for Alabama. She kept possession. Now a takeaway, Felicia Knox. Met by a takeaway from Yakel, trying to keep it alive. Finally, Sarepka with some control. Gianna Paul out in front. Rogers will chase it down. Rogers back to the center, was looking for Parker. Throw in. Knox behind the back. Reyna Reyes, and Bree Norris has the answer.
Hey, that's not a bad look though in traffic. Reyna Reyes, excellent look on net. Maybe didn't quite get the shot off that she was hoping for, but that was a quick release through traffic. Why not test the goalkeeper there? It's great to see Reyna Reyes getting up so far into the attack and joining.
7 goals for Reyes this season, primarily as a defender. She's been excellent in some set pieces, and then anytime she can join the fun right around the goal, she will do it.
Gianna Paul, just an unlucky touch there, but just a play before, able to keep that ball, get around a couple of Portland defenders and send some service into the 18-yard box. Not a whole lot of Alabama jerseys to greet her though. See how well Portland is pressing. Very, very organized. As we heard Coach French talk about how proud she was in her team for executing. This is exactly what she's talking about. And a delayed whistle there. But offside, number 14. Swan just sneaking in behind. Certainly has a nose for the net. You can see she's hungry for one.
Reyes ran out of room. We'll get a chance of the throw in. Portland is just tucking in and defending at this point.
Yeah, they're being patient. They've got great shape. They're pressing when they can, trying to get Alabama locked into these small spaces. So if Alabama can move that ball quick and find the outlet, then they're going to have tons of space to run.
Little contact, and this will go the other way.
I would say a little soft, but when you're in the 18-yard box, there's not going to be any sort of advantage played with that. And so Felicia Knox did have her hands there, trying to go through the player a little bit. Frustrating nonetheless.
Here comes Portland. Trying to build in the attacking third. Swan fights through some contact.
Yeah, that was a perfectly timed tackle by Brooke Steer. She knew she needed to make a touch on that ball before Swan tried to turn the corner, and she did.
Long range, Crone will watch it go. Just as Felicia Knox got moving, another key takeaway for Portland. We're seeing a lot of that to begin the second half. Kat Rogers, quickly taken away though. Camille Ash was right there after Rogers made the nifty move to have some space. Gianna Paul using her speed with some options. The back line gets involved, though, for Portland to take those chances away.
Yeah, Portland's doing a nice job of staying connected front to back. I would say Alabama's getting a little bit stretched, and not so much front to back, but when Felicia Knox looks up, she doesn't have a whole lot of support around her. But what she does see are 3 purple jerseys. So Alabama's got to give it a little bit more angle, some touch passes, just some support to her when she's in the middle.
Back to the center. Parker will chase after it left side. She'll have some help with Reyna Reyes. Opts to go back to Macy Clem. Skorka. Sarepka, deflection. And Norris kept it in play.
Yeah, I think it's too dangerous to let that ball bounce and see if it'll go over the touchline, because Parker was circling in, waiting to pounce on that ball if she did not make a play on it. So smart by Bree Norris, the goalkeeper for Portland.
10 minutes into the second half, still haven't seen a goal between the Crimson Tide and the Pilots. Alabama tops in the nation by averaging 2.96 goals per game. Meanwhile, Portland only averaging 1.6 per contest. Alabama with 68 total goals this year, Portland with 32, but we're seeing strength of the defense measuring up to this tall challenge of Alabama tonight.
Absolutely. You know, Coach French had mentioned the defense was #1. Can they get organized? Can they defend as a unit? Can they focus on that? But, you know, you've also got to be able to go forward with the ball. And so it will be a challenge to see if Portland can keep the ball, connect, and try to put something together.
Crone off her line just as Lucina was charging in hard, was able to get the stop and get it right back to the Tide back line of defense. Parker in the middle. Parker fighting through traffic. Sarepka is there. Good deflections, played away by Portland once again.
There's a hard tackle in the box, but it's a good clean tackle, but Sarepka taking a hard hit there. She's not one to shy away from physical contact. But how about Parker just driving through 3-4 defenders?
Keeling Doctor with a big stop right in front of the goal.
Absolutely.
Norman goes out. Kayla Adams, one of the top goal scorers this year, back in for Portland. Also Riley Tanner, with her burst of energy back in on the left side for Alabama, replacing Kat Rogers.
She was very dynamic in that first half, getting a lot of chances for Alabama, a lot of set pieces. She really gave Portland a lot of trouble out on that left flank.
Lucina trying to get to the attacking third. Sasha Pickard will end that threat for the Pilots. Behind her back Tanner with Reyes. Reyna Reyes keeps it in play. Experience with the Mexican national team. Reyna Reyes, one of the most technical players on this roster. Bends it back in. Tanner with space. Paul right side. Gianna Paul stopped by Bree Norris. Alabama keeps knocking on the door, but Bree Norris has had the answer each time for Portland.
Yeah, Bree Norris was strong in the air there. Gianna Paul, if she can pull that back just a little bit more, make Bree Norris decide, do I stay home or do I come out? And that's when I think they're going to start getting those opportunities where you can crash the net. You see Parker there wanting the ball, but it's, you know, Bree Norris all day long inside that 6-yard box. She's a very strong keeper, very disciplined, makes the right decisions.
Portland Brooks Steer with a good contact in the box. Still a chance for the Pilots. Yackel back to the center. More pressure from the Crimson Tide. Pass Steer, but she got it right back.
Portland is doing a better job stringing together some passes, keeping the ball, going forward.
Pilots on the move. Adams.
Goal kick for Alabama. You know, Jessica Skorka is such a strong defender, and it just takes that unlucky bounce off the toe of Adams.
Adams again for the Pilots, but met by Pickard. Lucina, Crone off the line, and a whistle blown.
Yeah, offside there, but, you know, Crone came out really well, anticipated that ball well. Portland trying to test Alabama's back line, but putting some of those more direct ball through.
7 times offside for Portland. Alabama's not been offside tonight. Crone off her line. Far away, had the contact. Yellow card. Nadia Sawan.
I think Sawan was wanting Crone to get potentially even a red. I think she felt like she had a goal scoring opportunity and that was taken away from her. There was nobody behind her. You know, when you come that far out, you've got to make a play on the ball. Crone did that. You're dangerous because she almost got the touch around Crone, but Crone's got to shake that from her mind now. Alabama's back line has to refocus, take a couple deep breaths.
In the first match earlier today, a yellow card on UC Irvine's goalkeeper led to a penalty kick goal. This will be a free kick outside the box, but it was a huge turning point for Brown to get an equalizing goal. Similar part of the match as well. We have 29-23 left to go in the second half. It's been scoreless to this point. Set piece chance for the Pilots. Sawan. Out of play.
Yeah, that was, if Portland just had a couple more shirts, a little bit closer to that back post, that ball sort of dipped down at the best point possible. But, you know, fortunate for Alabama, no players crashing that back post. You know, the longer and longer you let a team hang around, but Portland is a very talented squad, but the longer it goes, the more confidence they have. And again, you can see here playing that ball through. Sawan was about to get around her and go to goal. Crone made a big play, got the card for it. And again, when you come that far out of your net, you've got to make a play on the ball.
Aislinn Stryzik for the Crimson Tide just came in for Ashlyn Serepka. Nifty moves by Keely Doctor. Crone just shy of the attacking third. Parker and Paul there along with Tanner. Riley Tanner grabbing some control. Attacking third, a few deflections, and that'll roll out of play. Corner kick.
And this could be huge for Alabama. We've often seen with Alabama, once they get one, they come in a flurry. Tanner wants to put this team on her back. Look at her cutting and weaving, trying to get it to that left foot where she knows she can really put that ball with pace on goal.
Corner kick came in. Some solid work initially by Portland. Still a chance. Score kept back into the box. Deflected away by Tanner. Macy Clem to the right.
Portland doing everything in their power to defend against Alabama, and they're succeeding. They're also getting some dangerous looks.
Big header by Colby Wilson now, and did go right to Clem.
Yeah, at this point, Alabama, I think, has to take a couple of deep breaths and really think about it. They're so good at recycling the ball when it's not on goal, and I think they might be getting away from that a little bit. They've got numbers. They usually commit a lot of numbers forward, and so can they rework that ball? Can they find somebody, say Reyna Reyes or Tanner around that 18-yard box?
Selma Lucina with some green grass. Space goes away with Pickard. Redirected back. Steer with a touch. Excellent work from Tanner to Parker, and now the Crimson Tide trying to get back on the offensive attack, a little too far out in front for Tanner or Paul.
Yeah, I think Alabama just needs to focus on those small touch passes. What we just saw from Riley Tanner and Parker, it's good soccer. That's Alabama. They play in tight spaces and then they get forward.
Reyna Reyes. Headed first by Portland. So Alabama in the box has not had as many chance of deflection style goals or anything like that. There's always been a purple jersey right there.
And, we've seen a couple of times in the season when Alabama has played a team that has really just fallen off and sort of packed the box, and it's been more challenging for them to sort of find the seams and make it work. And that's what we're seeing Portland do here. And again, they're executing really, really well. They're limiting Alabama's chances, keeping them to the outside of the 18. They've just got to continue to move off the ball and try to keep up that energy and make some space for each other, make some space and some dashing runs.
Sydney Vincennes just came in for Alabama, a senior taking the spot of a freshman. Here come the Crimson Tide once more. Riley Tanner taking over. Bree Norris punches it away. Corner coming up, and Bree Norris having to go up against a strong attack from Riley Tanner.
Yeah, and it started with Keely Doctor there going 1v1 with Riley Tanner. Does good to sort of keep her out. Tanner does enough to create some space to get a shot off, and Bree Norris coming up big.
Fifth corner kick for Alabama tonight. The service in. Norris with some contact. Tanner out to the left. There's Clem. Tanner tripped up, and the whistle blown.
You had to know it. You had to know it. If Tanner is in and around that box, she is going to use her body and create that chance. She is so dangerous as a player. When you watch this ball, she doesn't get that first touch on it. Clem keeps it alive. The Portland players are going forward with pace. They're focused on clearing the ball. Riley Tanner is able to get her body between them and the ball, and she just does it so well. Of course, the referee will go and review the tape to make sure, and we're off to the races.
It'll be Riley Parker. Penalty kick chance for the Crimson Tide. Alabama's scoreless to this point. So many times, Riley Mattingly Parker has given Alabama the lead. She's been excellent on corner kicks, 1-for-1. That was in the SEC tournament against Mississippi State. Now she has a chance. Riley Parker. Stopped by Norris, but the second one's in! Alabama storms in front thanks to guess who? Riley Mattingly Parker.
And the sound is absolutely deafening. Bree Norris did so well to hold her ground, to stand her ground and make that big save. But oftentimes it's that follow through as well. And she puts the exclamation point on it and finishes it, gets her team up 1-0. But what a great stop shopper by Bree Norris. I mean, just stone cold.
Had to hit us with a gritty, right?
Yeah. I think
17th
that's the best
goal.
That's one of the best ones I've seen.
Reason to celebrate for Alabama in the 66th minute, a Crimson Tide lead.
Now the next couple of minutes are going to be really important for both sides.
We've seen Portland only take 2 shots tonight. We haven't seen any shots to this point of the second period by the Pilots.
The Pilots have definitely put together, several good offensive combinations, not culminating in a shot, but certainly better than the first half.
Alabama gets moving again. Offside. First time against Crimson Tide tonight.
Yeah, Stryzik, lots of pace on that outside as well. And here it is, Bree Norris stands her ground. Parker puts it at her, but then was able to finish her own rebound and put the Tide up 1-0.
Best in the nation in game-winning goals, and she may be on her way to another one tonight. Now up to 17 total goals, 6th best in the nation. Tricky moment here. Crone had the nice touch.
If I'm Portland, that would absolutely fire me up. Because so far they've played a very good game plan. They've executed quite well. And to get a PK scored against you, that hurts.
A whistle blown in the box. Now an opportunity for the Pilots. Sasha Pickard pleads her case. Yellow card.
And not for the play on the ball. I believe that was for some words with the referee. And so we'll see another look here. Ball in over the top. Sasha Pickard, nothing malicious. I think just caught up on the heels. Number 9, Kaylee Togiai, just does a really good job of getting herself in front of Sasha Pickard, making Sasha make the play on her, not the ball. But again, Alabama's just got to take a deep breath and recollect themselves.
Kaylee Togiai, a chance at an equalizer with a PK. Togiai gets it through! Portland's made it a brand new match at 1-1.
She made no mistake on that one. I mean, with all the pressure on her shoulders, with everything riding on that PK, she puts it away and it was perfect. Crone doesn't guess right, but I don't think it would matter if she did anyways. That was put perfectly in the corner. Very, very clean, very confident PK. Togiai has some ice in her veins on that one.
Well, we've seen some star power tonight. Togiai now is the team leader with 6 goals on the season. Obviously, Riley Parker leading the way with 17 for Alabama, and they come through on penalty kicks just a few minutes apart.
And as you mentioned, Roger, it's a brand new game.
And so for Portland, they haven't allowed a goal in the run of play against Alabama. The defense, especially in the second half, is going to be strong and has been strong. Now new life for the Pilots.
And if you're Portland, how fired up are you? Playing under the lights against the #1 seed and you are all tied up. For Alabama, I think it's going to be about cooler heads prevailing, and I think they just got to, you know, remember their game plan and stick to it. But all the credit to the Portland Pilots.
Parker to Tanner wowed the crowd. Parker bends it back to Macy Clem. Final 20 minutes coming up of regulation. Otherwise, we could be headed to overtime and 2 10-minute periods. And if it's still tied then, penalty kicks to determine a winner like we saw earlier between Brown and UC Irvine. Raina Reyes through traffic. Whistle blown.
Whistle blown, foul against Alabama. You're seeing a lot of white shirts appealing to the referee.
Raina Reyes and Riley Parker talking about that last call.
We'll get another look at it here. Raina Reyes. I think he's calling that the play was on Raina Reyes as she was sliding through with the ball.
Reyes already has a yellow card tonight that happened in the 31st minute. Portland trying to get back to that attacking third, but Riley Tanner with other ideas. Riley Tanner, left side speed, defense by Doctor.
Doctor's been putting in the work there with Riley Tanner.
Sawan fell down, play continues. Tanner to the center with Macy Clem. Right side, Serepka. Skorka tried to get it back to the center, deflected away from the box. Lucina gets it back. So GI was able to move it back to the attacking third for a moment. Portland will try and redirect. Sasha Pickard, center back for Alabama, tries to grab control.
Yeah, Portland is really trying to press and push that long ball and really try to get Alabama's back line in a 1v1 contest.
Jonna Paul back in, the SEC Freshman of the Year. Takes the spot of Sydney Vincennes. Portland also bringing in Brooke Miller off the bench. She replaces Kayla Adams. 2 goals in the second half, both on penalty kicks. Knox felt the pressure going into the box. Serepka at the top of the 18. Tanner trying to keep it alive, but there's Portland. And there's Doctor again. Raina Reyes able to redirect for the tie. Tanner tried to turn it around, and there's a foul. Contact from Camille Ash.
It's easier to call it from here, but I mean, you could see that coming a mile away. Riley Tanner, again, is just, it's so intuitive for her. She is gonna get you all over her back. And this is a great opportunity for Alabama.
Felicia Knox, the nation's leader in assists, setting up this kick. Knox, right side, looked for Reyes, but deflected away. First contact, Ash of Portland.
Yeah, and Ash has great size, 5'10" frame, was able to get up and meet that ball. I think Knox was looking for number 2, Macy Clem, back post. Just didn't have enough juice on the ball to get it up and over. But she'll get a retry here.
Similar setup with a corner kick. 6-1 for Alabama tonight. Knox, low line drive, and that'll get through. Alabama takes a 2-1 lead against Portland. Knox with another assist, and Alabama's got a 1-goal lead.
We've seen Felicia Knox score from the corner before. Usually they're a little bit lofted. It's hard to say how that snuck through, but there's traffic in the box, and that was a well-hit, low-pace ball. I'm wondering if there was a deflection somewhere, but Knox will take it. You can see it bounces in the box, and that's it, and that's all she wrote. Felicia Knox puts Alabama up 2-1.
Be an own goal on Portland with Doctor. Great service in by Knox, who has scored off of a corner kick this season, just bending it into the upper 90. So now the Crimson Tide trying to hold on to a 1-goal advantage for the next 15 minutes against Portland.
This is where game management really comes into play. Alabama having a lot of experience on their team. They really haven't been in too many situations like this, though. So this will be a true testament to their ability to manage the rest of this game.
So the own goal, the difference in the match in the NCAA tournament. Portland trying to find a way to get an equalizer as foul will get called against the Pilots. This will go back to Bree Norris, the keeper for Portland. '75th minute goal for the Crimson Tide. The difference as time dwindles down in Tuscaloosa. Crimson Tide trying to advance to the 3rd round for the first time in program history. Reyna Reyes, left side. Pressure from Doctor. Doctor with the takeaway.
And Doctor, you know, aside from that own goal, has played a pretty excellent game. She's really made it difficult for Riley Tanner to play the game she normally plays on that left
well
flank.
again there.
Absolutely. Each one of these Portland players has done a really good job of executing their job and their role.
Pickard trying to make a sliding tackle. However, possession continues for Sawant. Steer with the pressure, and this will go to the corner.
Huge tackle by Brooke Steer. Sawant has been causing a lot of problems up there for Alabama. Again, great size, able to hold on to that ball. Unlucky bounce there for Sasha Pickard, and Brooke Steers comes across that 6-yard box and just makes a huge play. Contesting that it's a corner kick, but nonetheless took away a scoring opportunity.
3rd corner kick for the Pilots. Trying to find an equalizer. Headed first by Alabama. Redirected back in. Crone will put the 2 gloves on the soccer ball and smother that chance for the Pilots.
Yeah, she looked a little bit unbalanced as she was coming across net, but made very sure that she had that ball and she had 2 hands on it tight. Going to ground, but holding that ball. So we'll take another look at that corner kick and the own goal. You can see low-driven ball, bounces, and it just looks like it went off the shin of Doctor. Heartbreaking. You can see her hand go to her mouth. After you play just, you know, your absolute heart out, nothing hurts more than an own goal like that.
Riley Burke has come in for Riley Mattingly Parker. These teams have a very quick turnaround. The winner will play on Sunday against UC Irvine. Anteater's match ended earlier, but went the distance going into the 2 overtime periods and then penalty kicks. So trying to find some rest is as important as it can be for both Alabama and for Portland, but it's going to be up to some substitutes off the bench for the Crimson Tide to play strong defense, maintain this 1-goal lead. Gonna go wide to the right.
Just runs a little far for Doctor to be able to get on the end of it, but that, you're right, Roger, that might be the one strength that Alabama has over their opponents here, is that they've got quite the deep bench, and that could come in really handy in resting players.
Sydney Yapic, who came in just a moment ago to give Parker a rest. Yapic had been sidelined for a bulk of the season with a thumb injury, but prior to that had played some really strong defense, especially in some key wins for Alabama against Clemson and BYU early in the season.
Yeah, and as a freshman, those minutes are so important.
Gianna Paul, SEC Freshman of the Year. Out long to Tanner, slide tackle. Riley Tanner back to work. She's got help this time. Feeling the pressure.
Collier did such a good job to stick with her, both of them going down and battling.
Ash cleared it out of the box, and here come the Pilots.
And there's Collier going box to box.
There's Yapic on defense for Alabama. Big spot for the Pilots, trying to find an equalizer. Yapic helping get the takeaway for the Tide. Backline will take over for Portland. Pilots again, inching to the attacking third. Trying to find an equalizer under 9 minutes to go. To the center, good touch Pickard. Alabama's defense takes control.
Riley Tanner doing a really nice job of holding that ball up, allowing Alabama to close that gap front to back. But she's a great target for Alabama to have as an outlet pass.
Eight minutes to go.
The Doctor as a redshirt freshman, you know, making some big plays here for her team.
Knox playing it out in front, but all those moments take seconds off the clock for Portland to try and find an equalizer. Contact and a foul.
They're tangled up at midfield. Again, any play on that ball is going to slow it down a little bit. Sometimes you need to take a bit more time off the clock, and so that's a great spot for a foul.
After the good service, this is headed to the right.
Corner kick. Yeah, McKinley Crone couldn't get a hand on it. It's hard to tell. The white and purple jerseys going up for that one, but Alabama has to mark up tight in the box here. They've got some big targets up front for Portland.
So GI will have the service. Huge opportunity for the Pilots. Strong line drive headed first by Alabama and Brooke Steer.
Brooke Steer is so solid. She's got great size, great physical presence.
Quickly redirected, and there's Crone.
Here's the corner again. Again, just read perfectly by Brooke Steer, just following, marking that spot, taking up space.
Felicia Knox starting another Alabama attack.
So you're taking it to the corner flag, gonna try to run that clock down as best she can. If the Pilots get it, make them go from their back corner, make them go box to box.
Lucina knocked down and a foul on Jessica Skorka.
You can see the frustration there. I think Lucina went down a little soft, but what else are you gonna ask your players to do? It's all about drawing fouls and creating chances for yourself. But Skorka's played a great game so far.
Lucina. Crimson Tide with Macy Clem getting the perfect touch. More of what Alabama needs, just working that clock, getting closer and closer to the third round of the NCAA tournament and a Sunday meeting with UC Irvine.
And again, wanting to try to give some players some valuable rest if they can. You don't want to look past the game you're currently in, but it's got to be on your mind.
Ashlyn Sarepka. Just off the bench, Riley Mattingly Parker. Perfect touch to Knox. Felicia had a deflection. Annis was right there in case it went back to her. Final 4 minutes of the second round match. Takeaway by the Pilots that'll include Bree Norris in the back line. 3.5 minutes try and mount an attack, but Alabama right there. Mariana Anest moving the Crimson Tide past the halfway line.
I think now you're going to start to see Alabama really wind that clock down. Try to take as much as they can off.
Srepka couldn't really get it in, and now Portland will grab possession. With an opportunity, the Portland Pilots looking for an equalizer. Deflection still settled.
Yeah, and Sasha Pickard defending like she's never done it before. I mean, the timing of her tackles is immaculate. But just like that, it could all change. I mean, you saw how quickly Portland Pilots got out on that counterattack, and it looked like 2v2 for a while. So Alabama's got to take care of that ball deep in the corner, handle their business.
Mariana Anest finding Parker. The Northwestern transfer with some key plays off the bench for Alabama. Portland throw in with Doctor. Final minute of the second round of the NCAA tournament. Tide trying to play keep away as long as possible. Portland will get a throw in with 20 seconds to go. And the length of the pitch to try and score an equalizer. An own goal was the difference. And in a season full of firsts for Alabama, the Crimson Tide, for the first time, rolling to the third round of the NCAA tournament. Alabama defeats Portland 2-1 in Tuscaloosa.
What a huge win for the program. It may not have been in typical Alabama style based on the season we've seen, but a win is a win is a win, and they have punched the ticket to the next round. Every week they are breaking their own records. It's just been a remarkable season that has been years in the making. A tough night for Portland, but let me tell you this, they played such an excellent game, well coached by Michelle French. They did not make it easy for Alabama at all. They really played excellent soccer tonight.
Yeah, 2 goals for the Crimson Tide, 1 off a penalty kick, 1 an own goal. So